When you buy a truck, you're expecting power, reliability, and the kind of toughness that takes on anything you throw at it. But not all engines live up to that promise. Some of them are complete disasters, the kind that make you question your life choices, your mechanic, and even your truck-loving grandpa. In this list, we're counting down the 10 worst truck engines of all time, the kind that leave you stranded on the side of the road, drain your wallet, and break your heart. And one of them? It's still being sold today. Let's get into it. 10. Caterpillar C7. Caterpillar's name usually screams reliability, but the Cat C7, built from 2003 to 2009, was the one that got away, and not in a good way. It was built for medium-duty trucks, but constant breakdowns made it hard to depend on. Its unique hydraulic electronic unit injector system sounded fancy, but in practice, it just failed. A lot. That led to rough idling, smoke-belching engines, and frequent stalling. The emission system was another sore spot, constantly triggering EGR valve issues and engine overheating. Caterpillar's struggles to meet EPA standards with this engine led to reliability nightmares and expensive repairs. Owners expected a workhorse. What they got was a money pit. 9. GMC 5.7-liter diesel V8. When GMC rolled out the 5.7-liter diesel V8 from 1978 to 1981, it looked like a solid diesel option. But here's the catch. It was originally a gas engine that GM hastily converted to diesel. That shortcut? A total disaster. The engine couldn't handle diesel compression. Cylinder heads cracked like eggshells, head gaskets blew repeatedly, and the injection pump was such a mess, it might as well have been made of Legos. It coughed out a pathetic 120 horsepower and guzzled fuel with none of diesel's usual efficiency. By 1981, GMC had enough, and so did drivers. 8. Ford 2.7-liter EcoBoost V6. Introduced in 2015 and still in production today, the Ford 2.7-liter EcoBoost V6 is a bit of a double-edged sword. It delivers good performance and fuel economy, but its reliability? That's a different story. One big problem is the timing chain. Over time, it stretches and causes serious misfires or full engine failure. Fixing it is not only expensive, it's also labor-intensive. Then there's the oil pan. It's plastic. Yes, plastic, which means leaks are common, and low oil levels can wreck the engine fast. Even the twin turbos, which give the EcoBoost its kick, have a habit of failing early. It's a modern engine with modern problems, and many owners are finding that out the hard way. 7. Dodge 4.7-liter V8. Produced from 1999 to 2013, the Dodge 4.7-liter V8 had every opportunity to become a solid mid-range truck engine. But instead of winning over drivers, it earned a reputation for frustration. The list of issues is long. Chronic overheating, head gasket failures, and oil sludge that could wipe out an engine without warning. Maintenance wasn't just important, it was survival. The valve train was another sore spot, with rocker arms falling off and misfires becoming routine. And the power output? Mediocre at best. For a V8, it often felt more like a V6 with a limp. Many Dodge owners dumped their trucks just to escape the endless repair bills. 6. Nissan 5.0-liter Cummins 5.8. When Nissan teamed up with Cummins for the 5.0-liter diesel V8, in the 2016 Titan XD, expectations were sky high. Cummins is a diesel legend, and Nissan was aiming to break into the serious truck market. But instead of a home run, they hit a dead end. Turbocharger failure was one of the first signs things weren't right. The variable geometry turbo system just couldn't hold up, leading to sudden power loss, something no truck owner wants. Fuel system problems weren't far behind. Drivers reported injector failures, rough idling, and even engine stalls. It didn't stop there. The cooling system was weak and prone to overheating, leading to internal engine damage. After just a few years of production, Nissan pulled the plug in 2019. The damage, however, was already done, to both their reputation and their customers' wallets. 5-6.0L Power Stroke. From 2003 to 2007, Ford's 6.0L Power Stroke became infamous. It was supposed to be an upgrade from the previous engine, but instead, it introduced a whole new set of headaches. One of the biggest issues? Head gasket failure, and it was happening way too early. The engine used torque-to-yield head bolts, which sounded fancy but couldn't handle high pressure. Add a badly designed EGR system that clogged and overheated, and you've got a disaster waiting to happen. Fuel injectors also failed frequently, killing performance and causing misfires. The turbocharger? Prone to failure, especially under towing stress. In short, it was expensive to maintain, frustrating to own, and one of the most complained about diesels in Ford's history. Even mechanics dreaded it. Ram 3.0-liter EcoDiesel V6. When Ram released the 3.0-liter EcoDiesel in 2014, it was hyped as a fuel-saving, torque-rich option for light-duty trucks. On the surface, it looked like a win. Smooth performance, great mileage, and modern diesel technology. But the problems came quick, and they came big. Timing chain issues were a major red flag. The chains would stretch or fail, causing total engine shutdown. The EGR cooler? A known weak link. It failed so often that Ram had to issue multiple recalls. But it didn't end there. The engine burned through oil at an alarming rate, even between regular oil changes, and owners found themselves constantly topping off. And let's not forget the emissions scandal that came crashing down on this engine, tainting its already shaky image. It promised a lot, but ended up being a legal and mechanical mess. 3. First-gen 3.5-liter EcoBoost. Ford made waves in 2011 when it launched the first-gen 3.5-liter EcoBoost. It was a turbocharged V6 that promised V8 power with better fuel economy. It sounded like the future until owners started having real-world issues. Carbon buildup was the silent killer. The direct injection system led to thick deposits on intake valves, causing loss of performance and rough idling. Cleaning it was expensive and needed specialized tools. The twin turbos were supposed to be a selling point, but many failed early, especially under high-load conditions. What was supposed to be a breakthrough engine ended up giving early adopters a headache. Ford improved the EcoBoost in later generations, but that first batch? It left a bad taste. And some big bills. 2-6.4L Power Stroke. You'd think Ford would have learned after the 6.0L mess. But in 2008, they followed it up with the 6.4-liter Power Stroke, and somehow made things worse. Produced until 2010, this engine is now considered one of the worst diesel engines Ford ever made. The biggest issue? Fuel dilution. Diesel was leaking into the engine oil because of poorly designed injectors that ruined the oil, accelerated wear, and eventually destroyed the engine. The fuel economy was awful, especially for a diesel. The DPF, diesel particulate filter, clogged constantly, causing engine stalling and limp mode. And don't even get started on the twin-turbo setup. It failed often and cost thousands to fix. For an engine that was supposed to be Ford's redemption, the 6.4-liter Power Stroke was just another blow to customer trust. Number 1. Ford 5.4-liter Triton V8 3V. And here it is, the worst of the worst. The engine that tops our list is the Ford 5.4-liter 3-valve Triton V8, haunting trucks from 2004 to 2010. This engine wasn't just bad, it was a mechanic's nightmare and a truck owner's money pit. Where do we even begin? Spark plug failures were legendary. The two-piece plug design would break during removal, often leaving half stuck in the cylinder head. Removing them safely was an expensive, time-consuming process. Timing chain issues were next. The tensioners and guides wore out early, causing chain rattle and engine failure. The oil pump? Another failure point. When it stopped working, it starved the engine of oil, damaging the camshafts and lifters. And then there were the cam phasers, supposed to control variable valve timing, but they often failed completely, creating loud knocking noises and poor performance. The 5.4-liter Triton V8 wasn't just unreliable, it was expensive to repair, frustrating to own, and nearly impossible to love. Ford eventually replaced it, but not before it left behind a trail of angry drivers and blown engines. And there you have it, the worst truck engines ever made. From weak turbos and bad timing chains to full-blown design failures, these engines cost drivers thousands and turn tough trucks into ticking time bombs. If you've owned one of these, you already know the pain. And if you're shopping for a used truck, consider this your ultimate buyer beware list. The best trucks in the world still need a solid heart under the hood, and these engines just didn't deliver. If you found this video helpful, or just downright shocking, hit that like button, drop a comment about your worst truck experience, and don't forget to subscribe. We've got more truck content on the way, including the most bulletproof engines you should be buying. See you in the next one.